and welcome to the third video in the series called Growing with Willow. If you haven't tuned in for the other videos, I'll put the links in the description below. Just to give a quick little recap, basically I took on a 5-year-old thoroughbred who has had no training, and my hope is just to start getting her used to people and to start getting her used to be handled and comfortable in her own skin. Now, last week we had a little bit of a setback. She actually came down with West Nile, which is a disease carried by mosquitoes and can actually be deadly for horses. Luckily, she has recovered really well, and this week has kind of been back to normal training with her. So I've been doing just a lot of very simple exercises to help manage her stress. And I mentioned stress in last week's video that came up, and it's a topic that's going to come up a lot in this video series because for the horses and ourselves, managing stress is everything. And it's unfortunate the world we live in puts a lot of stress on us, but it is our job to manage that. And whenever we work with a horse, it's our job to manage their stress as well, to make them want to be around us. Horses want to be around calm, confident, competent leaders. And the only way to do that is to show them that we can effectively manage their stress and their vulnerability better than they can themselves. That is when they start to crave to be around you. And that is my goal with Willow. And you'll see in a few minutes, I have a little video clip of me working with her, and I'll do a voiceover to explain what it is I'm doing. But that is the goal here, stress management. And ironically enough, this past week of her being ill, or sorry, last week of her being ill and just so many other things, there's been a lot of stress and pressure on me. And it's really made me realize that I need to start responding to stress in a more positive way and handling it better. And really taking on the insights that the horses can give us and applying those to myself. And you'll see in a minute, like I said, as I'm kind of showing you this clip, what I'm kind of talking about. But just to give you some insight into this, horses kind of have 6 main ways of communication, or 6 energies that they really kind of create and live by. So there's the idea of fight, flight, or shut down. Those are the 3 reactions you're going to get from a horse. They're a prey animal, so they have those 3 reactions. They're usually more drawn to flight, but sometimes you will see them fighting or just shutting right down. And we have the exact same reactions to stress. And the other 3 energies I'm going to talk about quickly are push, block, and draw. And for the horses, that's more of a communication thing. That's communicating with each other. That's how they communicate, through body language. Is either a push, a block, or a draw. And ironically enough, we need to balance those 6 energies in order to be able to manage our stress effectively as well. Because if you think about it, in a situation that really stresses you out, if you're continually running away from it, flighting away from it, you're never going to address the issue. If you're always fighting and you're never able to see the other side of the issue or just kind of accept what's going on, you're never going to get past it. And if you're shutting down, like so many of us do, and just flipping through a phone or putting headphones on and not thinking about it, or whatever it is your coping mechanism is, I guess, you're never addressing the issue. And there's so many horses out there who are in very similar situations, and we can take so much from that. So without any further talk, I'm going to get into the next part of the video of me showing Willow, and I'll do a voiceover, like I said, to kind of let you guys know what's going on and how it can relate to us. But just keep in mind stress. Keep in mind that we want to manage that. And horses have those six characteristics, let's call them, 6 traits, 6 characteristics: fight, flight, shut down, push, block, draw. And you'll see in this video how I communicate with Willow through those energies. So here in this video clip, you can just see me walking Willow around, and as I'm walking her, just take note of how high her head is. And for a horse, a high head is a stressed, uncomfortable horse, a horse that's in flight mode, so that's one of those energies that I just previously talked about. And as we're walking around, I'm pushing Willow. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm not drawing, I'm not blocking, I'm mainly pushing her. Pushing her around, moving her, keeping her energy moving, because naturally as a horse, that's what she wants to do because she's in flight mode. So I'm making it my idea to move. And here we are here doing a little more moving, continually walking. Now this was after I'd worked with her for a little bit, and you can see her head's dropped slightly, but not too greatly. So reverting back to stress and talking about stress, for the horses, a level head is a less stressed horse. Now, as I'm stopping here, I'm about to work on something called giving bend. I'm drawing Willow into me, asking her head to draw towards me. Now, she wasn't quite ready for this yet, and I realized that after the fact. That was a bad on my part. So here I am going to push her again. I'm pushing her around in a circle.
This is called lunging with horses, where you send them around in a circle. Now, I don't have the proper size line here, but I'm basically just making work what I have, and I'm pushing her around me. Now, you can see here in a second, you'll see right here, you see a bit of fight come out in her. Normally she's very flighty, but there is a bit of fight in her. Now, this clip of me lunging her was taken a couple minutes later or a few minutes later on, and you can start to see, look at that head drop, look at that bow that I'm getting. That is a fantastic sign from a horse. It's showing that they are starting to find trust in you and starting to find some balance in themselves. And here she walks around again. I think she does it one more time or a few more times. But overall, that head carriage is a lot nicer. You can still see she's a little bit stressed, but it's a lot calmer. There's another deep bow. Yes, that's what we want. As she continues around, I just ask her to stop here by stopping and backing up. And you can see that there is some manure coming out. That's all the stress coming out, which is perfect. That's what we want from the horse. And here again, I'm asking for that stop. I'm finding the right place for it. Around we go until we find the spot there, and she stopped on my line. Now, the bit of tail flicking you're seeing isn't necessarily directed towards me, it's towards the flies. And there's a nice deep bend again to end on. I'm drawing her in. Draw that energy into me. And here as we're walking away, I just want to take a second to talk about all those energies that I just mentioned, the push, the block, and the draw, the fight, flight, and shut down. There wasn't a lot of shutting down here, but there was a lot of push, block, draw, fight, and flight. And this is what I mean by stress management with horses and ourselves.